I'm just gonna work on my album and making a chill cinematic ambient kind of track. This album is truly something else. I have an entire notebook filled with ideas and words and inspirations, and yeah, it's kind of really cool. And I have so many ideas, so yeah, we're just gonna figure it out as we go. I have some ideas. This track, I want to be going for more ambient cinematic direction. I have a bunch of different themes throughout the album, but it's all really dramatic, called The Poison. And I feel like I've made some epic tracks. I've even written some songs for this, and it's really coming along well. But now I feel like it misses some of the ambient tracks in between. I kind of want to make it feel like a soundtrack. There's definitely big inspirations from Arcane as well, aka the best series ever made. And yeah, we're just gonna play around a bit. Yeah, we're gonna do some fun bad stuff. I'm just thinking a bit of the direction. Also, I'm curious about the screen because you see OBS, which is kind of a bit lame, maybe. So I might just hook up another screen real quick. But yeah, tell me how you guys are. I would love to hear from you. I should look at the chat. There we go. Okay. HDMI. Okay, the screen might do a bit weird now. This should be better. Wait. If it's turning on at all. Yep. There we go. Okay. Like I said, I'm just gonna grab a second screen. There we go. That's much better. Now I can just bring this Twitch screen there as well. And yeah, cool. Well, now that's all working. We're still with the blank canvas here. What I want to start with is some noises, some sounds that are literally just ambient sounds from cities with noise. I really think that captures kind of a chaotic feeling, and I have this thing where I think busy cities and everything just really overwhelm me sometimes, and I want to bring that into the music in a quite hectic way. So we're gonna do that quite literally by just adding some city sounds, which I think is really fun. So what we have is, I'm just looking through some sounds as we speak. Wait, I should just type city. That will save me some time. City traffic. Yeah, that's perfect, I think. I'm not sure if you hear this. I think you should hear this. Yeah. Ooh. Yep. This is quite noisy, which is perfect. That's definitely what we want to go for. And the question is whether I want to keep it like this or if I want to do this. And this is a really cool trick. What I'm doing right now is just, bam, throwing some huge reverb on it. And I'm really going over the top here. We can tame that a little bit. I mean, the sound in general, it needs to be in the background. So just by cutting out some lows, which is generally a good idea in this case. Wait, what? Oh yeah, okay, cool. Maybe not that much. Maybe like this, and then I don't know. Usually, I want to leave some space here. It still has the noisy aspect to it, and then it sounds like, and that's really cool, right? it feels way more windy, and I think it's really cool. Lupinity, Oliver, it's great to see you here. Thank you so much for registering on Twitch for me. I'm really excited about doing these live streams again. I kind of forgot about it really, but I have so much to stream right now, working on my album and everything. So, yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm just playing around with some ideas. I'm adding ambient sound as we speak, which I think is such a cool effect. Like, it makes it very cinematic, and I want to really keep that kind of cinematic storytelling sound design aspect to it, like you have in a movie. Like maybe there's an intro which is kind of crazy and it's like very dramatic, and I want that effect to be inside the music. I basically want that to be this entire track. Arcus is also really nice. Maybe not the best decision. I'm just gonna grab some ambient stuff. Some stuff that can do cool pads. Maybe I can also throw in like this huge bassy subby drone sound that I use quite a lot. But we're gonna see if that makes sense. It's just waiting time now. Okay, cool. It's loaded. Actually not sure why it took that long. I think it might be because these are in contact 8. Scene Saffron, by the way. It has some really cool sounds. Huh? Library is not found. That's not a good sign. Oh no, it's contact 8. Okay. You should be able to hear this, right? Instant drama. And that's just me live playing. This kind of feels like cheating, but we're gonna go into deep details with this. So, this is the default patch, but I'm really liking the sound, so I might just go with that. Okay, it should cut off right about there. Not sure if expression works on this one. This is what the MIDI looks like, by the way. Yeah, so for the people that know my music, I do tend to love dramatic intros, and I also love doing emotional and epic piano music. And this time I'm leaning way more into the dramatic intro side with a lot of experimentation on top of that. And I think it's really fun. So I'm gonna add a boom, but I'm thinking this one is kind of my favorite patch nowadays for boom sounds. So where do we have it? And what we can do here is kind of fade this out a bit. Maybe. Because there's a ton of reverb in, I can do it quite early. This will probably still kind of fly around way after this is... Yep. One issue with this is I would have to re-listen to the entire thing every time I'm playing it, so that's why I'm gonna render it out. When it's handy to render stuff out, I think that's definitely recommendable, by the way. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. No, it's actually fine. Actually, it gives me more flexibility. This one gone. Okay. Maybe I want to make it even more ambient, so. I feel like this one needs to be louder. I'm afraid also might clip. But let's. Okay. Just gonna try out some piano ideas because they usually feel very. Ooh. That's kind of cool. This is why it should always be recording. Okay, let's try this. Impeccable timing. Usually timing like that doesn't end as ideal. Ideally, I'm really quite satisfied about that actually. Although I wasn't initially sure about doing a piano here. Hey, new followers to me. Thank you so much for also signing up. It's great. Yeah, I'll try to do your sign up justice by streaming more often because these are really fun. Yeah, let's just do a small fade in for this. So, just about the track, initial concept. I wanted this to be very ambient, but it's called Sight and Shadows, which are. Okay, this is fun to share. I have this notebook, and what I did in some pages is I just wrote down all the words that came to my head around a certain topic. And it's just really fun because this topic. James and you too, the whole crew is here. That's so great. Awesome that you figured your account out. So yeah, sights and shadows. It came from this huge web of words that I just wrote out on a note, and like it looks really cool because it's the entire page filled. I can probably show that, by the way. So we have. It looks like this, which is really cool, and I kind of picked words from this and connected them, and I feel like sights and shadows. It's a really cool opportunity to kind of combine the shadow vibes, which I want to do through the pads, and then sight I'm not sure about. So the piano could be a good way to kind of give that vibe. But I was also thinking maybe cool violins or cellos. It was really cool to see you all here. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or if you want to share anything, go ahead. I'm a social person, so I totally don't mind. If anything, I love it. So, yeah. And in the meantime, we'll continue on this. Not sure about the piano placement, but I do really like the chords. Just emotional vibes. Piano is so arcane. You know what's the worst? It's this thing is. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm kind of gravitating towards that. So I'm not sure yet, but I think it's kind of cool. But That's just general emotional music. And then this, that's a movement that's going on in my entire album. So some context about this. My album is basically one very important thing about my album. This is like a kind of a signature effect that's going on, like tonally. So basically I have just a simple scale and then I go, which is one semitone above the root A major. I'm not a music theory person, so people can probably explain that better, but it's like, which kind of goes a little bit Phrygian, I think. And I think it's just really cool. And to me, those two notes, that's what feels like the poison. Like the poison is just, for me, it just feels like that's a bit dark, a bit unfortunate, like you don't want that poison to be there, but it's there and it feels a bit ominous, which it certainly is. So that's why I went with so I feel like that's very much in tune for the album. And then this, it feels very Arcane-y, maybe a bit too much, but I'm also kind of fine with it because it's still gonna have my personal Ben Birkenboss twist. The thing I'm mostly unsure about is whether I want there to be piano. I was thinking of going very ambient, and I feel like piano is kind of my comfort zone, and I wouldn't say that's a bad decision, but I want to try out experimenting with just the pads. I didn't delete it, by the way, I just saved it. And I agree, it can never be too Arcane-y. But we can add some cool sound. Ooh, okay, I did one really fun sound, and I'm gonna try to recreate that, maybe. If that's gonna be a possibility. So what we have is, I think, no, it's maybe the high strings. These have a really cool patch that goes like, I'm pitch bending it, by the way. And you can do really cool stuff with that. But it's really tricky to make it fit because it feels so dissonant when you start pitch bending. Hey Sienna, it's great to see you. Oh, you are gonna like this. It's we're doing some emotional, dramatic, like ambient music. And there's definitely Arcane inspirations. Ooh, photosynthesis. Wait, a similar patch to this like irregular ARP sound, because I'm really curious. I think it's a really fascinating sound. Thanks. I'm glad to hear that. So maybe like, okay, I have an idea. I hear a note that goes like, okay, it's just a root note basically, but within this, I'm gonna use another string patch just to showcase. This is really interesting. It has like, so basically it goes like, but then it goes like very slow like this, which is kind of cool. Bend it into the pitch. Yeah, I'm thinking of layering them, so I'm essentially doing that. But I first want to get the dynamics right. Like, needs to fade out a bit quicker. Okay. The tricky part is to make this work. What I don't really love about Contact is, and this is one thing that is actually nice about Sign, is Sign just allows you to... Oh, there's a wasp! Okay. Okay, so maybe we can kind of get that. And then this can be distorted because we want to just absolutely crush. Bam, bam. Okay, that's maybe a bit much. But I'm not exaggerating that much. Okay, let's see. And then this will be more background, by the way. I think that's kind of cool. And then we need a sound for there after this, that which is a little tricky. Maybe like... And then I'm gonna also pitch bend that, because if a sound doesn't pitch bend, it's not suitable. That's actually a bit too low. But this should work. And this is gonna make sense when we do a pitch shifter on this. Like... Kilohertz pitch shifter. Oh, you like the ocean sounds? That's okay. I'm just gonna showcase. This is what I said in the beginning of the stream. It's actually city traffic sounds, which sounds like this. And I think this is really fitting because what this represents is me getting overwhelmed in busy cities, and not just like stuff where there's so much noise and everything going on. It feels very overwhelming, and it kind of feels like a poison that gets into me, which is what I want to represent in a lot of these tracks in this album. So I want to do that, but then boom, reverb on it, and it feels very smooth. I think it's cool. And it also has like these little details like that bling and that. Yeah, I think it really does. This doesn't sound right yet, but that's when you haven't added reverb on this. Actually, I don't want to do that. Just like this. More decapitator. Or if we want, we can use the Epicizer by Tommy Profit, but let's not do that. Stuff like this is kind of tricky because it requires a lot of precision and feeling, but on the other hand, it's also very... there's so much freedom. It needs to be a tiny bit faster. I feel like another boom could be kind of nice there. Wait. So we have another boom like... And then some moody synth kind of sound would be pretty fun. I feel like maybe... Just gonna have to think. Probably gonna go with Zebra for this. Solstice booms. Solstice booms? Wait, Solstice also has booms. Yeah, I have too many booms anyways. I haven't checked those out though. And yeah, OTT. I'm pretty confident that of all the album tracks that I did do so far, I haven't used a zero instances of OTT. Like, I haven't used any of it. Which is not something that I'm particularly proud of, but also, like, I don't know. Actually, maybe on one of the tracks where I wanted to string spiccatos to kind of sting. Yes! Yeah, okay. That actually may sound very weird what you're suggesting from a standpoint where you're layering two subs together, but I'm all for it because I can just cut out the sub and cut out the beginning of the downer, and that actually sounds really cool. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, just make sure I do like kind of this maybe, and then I think this one works quite well. Luke's new downer. No, this is Keep Forest. I think Risons. But I loaded all my stuff into the Devastator kind of engine. So this is just a custom patch. And you can see like, bam. It's just... Actually, can you see that? You should be able to see that, right? I feel like the screen is frozen. Uh-oh. Is the screen frozen? You still hear me, right? Boom. Is that... Oh. Ah, the screen is frozen on mix. And that's really weird. Okay, we haven't had that before, I think, but I know the solution, which is just by adding another screen capture. Bam. Display, and then this display. And then with this display, it should be all good again. But then it's a bit big. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get rid of this one. Yes. And then, bam. I'm great at troubleshooting my own stream nowadays. It's a skill I never thought I would possess, but here we are. My face is coming back. No worries. Just hold on tight. This needs to be there. Bam! There we go. It's all back. So what I wanted to show you was this that I did. Look at... I loaded up not all my trailer stuff, but like all the stuff I like to use just in here, because there's a drag and drop user import. You can use it for many things, but it's pretty nice to have it all in there. It looks cool, and yeah, it's pretty handy. And then I loaded that into my template, so that's why I can just be like, wait. Beautiful, ultimate downer. Yeah, okay, but anyways, the suggestion was great. What we're gonna do here is having the boom. The boom is quite subtle. The downer is certainly not. So. Ooh, I do have a cool idea. So one thing that I learned to do, which I think is quite cool, there is Oliver Arnold's cells. Yeah, I'm back. The screen is back. Okay, so Oliver Arnold's cells, and what it does is, I'm just gonna quickly showcase it on F sharp. Okay, I'm playing only the root on an octave. So I'm playing F sharp. And what it does is it adds these little notes, almost like melodies in there. Like randomized kind of. And it's really cool. What I learned about this library is that you can just use any string patch and kind of do that yourself. Which is really fun for some variation. Terminator 2. Yep. Hey. Oh, they're hanging. Yeah, that's when I forget to undo the sustain pedal. But yeah, what is happening there is just cool notes. That's how I like to explain it. And then we're gonna do this in some sort of cool way. They're a bit soft. Let's do it like this. Go down there, go up here. But the dynamics in this one are kind of a lot. So maybe then layering in some flautandos. And of course some more black hole. This is really what you do with ambient music. Oh wow, okay. Just make sure it's not too... Yeah, it's this. There's also a little frequency in here that is bothering me a bit. I think it's that. Yeah, I mean reverb is ambient, so we can use any other reverb and it will have a similar effect. Well, not really true. It depends. I think Valhalla Vintage Verb has a similar effect, Valhalla Shimmer has a similar effect, and even Supermassive can be used on certain presets where it will be similarly sounding. I also think this one is too much. I want something a bit smoother with the same notes, so I'm just gonna grab the MIDI from this, maybe put it into Arcane. I don't want it to be that subby. By the way, these are maybe not best practices to do when you're working on realistic sounding orchestral stuff, but for ambient stuff you can kind of bend the rules. I think you can always bend the rules, by the way. So maybe just for the fun of it, showcase vintage verb. Chaotic Hall is pretty great. But then what I want to do is I don't want to string sound. I want a smooth sound but not strings. So no, wait, let's do quiet longs and rock. I might just throw a whole low pass filter on this. That's a good call. Wait, this is... I got really confused, but I throw it... Wait, what? Oh, it's... Right, this is the issue. To go down to... Ooh. Yeah, I can do that, but I can also just totally ignore that. I'm not sure. It doesn't really satisfying when we go like... Oh. Oh, it's a bit low. Can you shut up? Oh. Okay. So when we go like... This is like a long... Then it does feel super satisfying to go like... Yeah. No, that's just kind of how Woodchester sounds, but there's also this ambience, which is more obvious when I do like... Whip, whip. Yeah, what I was playing was just the chords that they do. Oh, I don't want to get copyright claimed. Let's not play that. Or just whatever, let's get copyright claim. It doesn't really happen in Twitch, by the way, so not really worried. Ooh, okay, yes, let's, okay, cool. This is an... Okay, I think I have a cool idea. Oh, drama! Yes, we like that. Sorry, for the ones that are not listening on headphones, I don't like what the strings are doing here. it down because it kind of needs to stop it. Just a little bit further. I think this is good. Oliver, can you specify what sound you are talking about? You mean like the low, subby? If you mean that sound, it's Ambient 5. If you mean the strings, that's Ambient Neo. Yeah, that's Ambient 5. This is they have by far the best kind of sounds in there. At least I like them the most in terms of sound design. I think it's probably also my favorite Albion anyways. It just has interesting string patches that you don't really find anywhere else. And I'm saying that literally anywhere else because these are just like traveling tremolos are just... They instantly sound like kind of Nordic vibes. This is literally just strings recorded. This is like raw. I didn't throw any reverb on there, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, it's just, it sounds like that because the hall, but it's also played very softly. Like it's very soft, so you can make it a bit louder and just add some more width to it. It does sound pretty nice. So yeah. And they also have cool stuff like this one, which is called lag nose but played long, I think. Also pretty cool. All are very soft. No Rosen, which sounds a bit roughish. You can hear Jack. Yeah, Jack was making noise. Rosin is basically OTT. Huh, I never thought of it like that. I think this is a nice sound to kind of incorporate in this tab. It's a bit too subtle. Let's add some gain. That's not any gain. Okay. I feel like I kind of want to do that. This needs a bit of refining, but I think in terms of intro I really like it. So the idea I have to continue this is to probably add a piano and then go very moody and still very ambient. Like I might just dial the reverb up to an unholy amount. And I'm also gonna keep this out of time because I think it's a nice opportunity to ignore any tempo. That's kind of too low. Ben Berkenbos wants to go moody. Breaking news. Breaking news! Ben Berkenbos is not gonna make a happy, peppy song today. Today we're gonna go like... Got you there with the first chord. You DM'd me with ID. Wait, okay, let's see if I can open this up and see Oppie horn. That looks cool. You know, I'm gonna, if you're cool with it, I'm gonna open that patch up and then I'll get virus, of course. No, okay. If you're cool with it, I am gonna try that one out because I'm curious. Do we have fighter in there? Yep. Oppie horn. Is that like... Yeah, I'm curious. Is it a good patch? Oh, is that the patch that turn up the legato? Okay. Let's see. Oppie horn. Turn up the legato. The legato is already on. And then black hole, of course. Yeah, we're gonna try this out. I mean, I don't know how much black hole you use. Or what if we do like... I might use it in that context. Wait, let's just give this a spin. Yeah, I want to keep it subtle. It does sound really cool. Maybe a bit later. Okay, cool. That sounds pretty great. It's subtle. Maybe a bit tad louder. That, and one thing I noticed is that it's not very happy about the sub also being there. Yeah, I think it's cool. That's like, the thing is, all these tiny subtleties work well with the big ambience like this. That's what kind of makes it dreamy, and personally is why I love it, because you can just go imagine and fantasize while listening to that ambience, and it brings out so much creativity when there's so many layers to it that you just, I don't know, it's kind of a world on its own. You just gotta figure out the piano bit. I'm thinking of maybe going with something. Okay, that's fun. No, it's not right. We'll figure it out. Okay. Oh damn it! This is like an issue. It's an actual issue. I don't want to do, but this is just. It's too satisfying not to. It's like, this is actually addictive. Like, I just want to come up with something cool, and then just the second that I lose my 100% and full focus, my brain just automatically goes to, which sucks. This is like you're fighting a boss battle in a game, and then you're just doing all your best not to get hit, because getting hit one time means you just die and you have to start over. But no, it's just like that, because once you just lose that focus, bam, it's over. It's game over, and you just do. And the worst part is, it sounds cool, and it's probably just an ego thing, and I can probably incorporate it anyway. It's just, that's the whole issue. I didn't. Yeah, maybe I should just use that one. But that one also does this, right? Is it this one? No, you're right, Jameson. I mean, it's the inspiration is there anyways. What I don't like about it is that my brain just defaults to it. But then maybe it's like supposed to. But yeah, the inspiration will definitely show, because I even got some quotes printed out here, which I think are very inspiring. That which inspires us to our greatest good is also the cause of our greatest evil. Guess whose quote that is, and you'll be the coolest person in this stream today. Yeah, and I didn't delete it, so I might just go with this chord progression. I feel like it's bad. Oh, too bad, Oliver, but you didn't watch it. It is Victor. You said it first. But you said it with less confidence than Jameson. Although Jameson said it in a lazier way, so I will make it a tie. Maybe you were delayed. That could be. But this is not the. I'm a bit confused, but this is the one that I did in the intro. Let's just duplicate that. Right? This is. Yeah, and this feels very much the Poison. It's very hard to explain, but the Poison, it has a certain sound, and this is how that sounds, so I feel like this does it justice. I wanted there to be a tail and then to have enough suspense, but not too much. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be there. Let's just make sure the MIDI sounds good. Also want it to be a bit on time. Yeah, that should be good. That's, by the way, a cool little trick that you can use. If you're working out of time, you can just drag a note to kind of measure the length and see how off it is time-wise. Technically, I should also do this part, but I think this should be good. Yeah, I figured you were, you meant this one, Sienna. Wait, what's up with this one? Yeah, I think it's faith. I think it's just, this has to happen. Make it sus. Wait, which one? Do you mean like the... Not sure which one. Make it sus first instead of just 2 chords. Yeah, I like the resolution going on in the bass a lot. It does work. Or do you mean like the very first? Like... You're going... So I think these are more the gray chords than they are the arcane chords. Yeah. You mean like going... This is also, by the way, it's just... No, I like the resolution in there, to be honest. I think sus also works when you want to build more tension. It's just... Yeah, you know, I slipped a little across the stars in there. Yeah, and then it also does like... Yeah, I don't know, that just popped in my head. Yeah. Best Star Wars piece. Or maybe the Force theme is also pretty great. My chord is in the way. Yeah, enough Star Wars. how to Ben Berkenbossize this. I mean, this is already very Ben Berkenbossy. Yeah, that's intentionally. Oops. Oh, sorry for that. That was kind of clipping. Yeah. Anyways, the issue that I have with the keyboard is that it's non-weighted. This is not semi-weighted, it's not fully weighted, so I tend to make quite a few mistakes because it's just, even a baby can press this. Yeah. But one thing that I really like about the non-weighted keyboards is that you can just play very softly if you're just careful, like. And that's the issue. I keep resolving. I think it's actually a natural way to resolve. Like this. This is like what you hear in. And it goes like. And then you also have to. It goes. That's what I like about neoclassical music in general. It often is so simple and just so many emotions. We're getting distracted a bit. Cool. Okay, cool. I have another fun thing to showcase. A really cool way to add ambience. And I'm just gonna look at some tuned percussion probably. Tongue drum might be in the range, but it's a risky one. Also, if I'm gonna use... Wait. Let's use Phyto. Sorry for mumbling there a bit. I'm just thinking Phyto is great because there's this really awesome guy called Luke Melns, and what he did was he created a bunch of tuned percussion Phyto instruments, which some of you of course already know, and then it's like a easy way to kind of make it more smooth sounding. So what I'm going to do, plus it has more range, so kind of like, what I like to do is just this. Gummy bears, they sound like this. Oh god. Sorry for this. I'm really sorry. Can we... I made something that's... Actually, there is a keybind that can just empty something. But I forgot what it was called. Yeah, none. Okay, bam. Sorry for that. So, welcome to trailer music. Yeah, so what we do is we just throw reverb. And then we copy it, and then we make sure it is aligned. Wait, let's just make that easier for us. Wow. Technically, this one should be under atmospheres, not tuned percussion. Tongue drum. I could also record my own tongue drum. That might be fun to do. Nah, let's do that another time. It's not gonna be nice on OBS. So what we essentially do here is we kind of create something that fits together with the piano. And it sounds a bit haunted. So what I want to do is make it a bit less bassy and to kind of get rid of the higher notes that feel too piercing. Wait, I'm gonna throw on volcano to kind of do it like this. Another nice effect about this whole transition here is that we go from something that's very noisy and packed to something more intimate without the noise. Which makes something feel quite emotional. Another idea that we can try out is reversing all this. Then I would have to reverse the MIDI, which we can just do like this. It's gonna be weird as fuck. Okay. This is gonna be cool, I think. I hope. When I'm deleting something, I barely ever actually delete it. So I just do a new track preset. So when you see me delete everything like crazy, don't be like, oh yeah, that's cool to do. It's not cool to do. We noticed today how great it is that I still have the thing from the piano because I didn't delete it. So there you go. Tip of the day. Now I reversed it, so the notes are the same, but it's all reversed. Maybe some delay. I think 4th dotted chest. It almost feels horror-y, but I don't want it to feel like horror. I just want it to feel like tragic, you know? I think it does work. No, I'm not gonna sidechain that to the piano. I kind of want to stay away from sidechain, or at least from too extreme sidechain here. Because I did a lot of sidechain and I feel like it makes the track a bit more danceable. And this needs to be more of an ambient track. So it's important that it doesn't become too epic or danceable. Just need to line this up better. The nice thing about this sound is it is like somewhat tonal, but it's not as defined as, let's say, a piano note, which is kind of cool. I feel like it's still somewhat noisy, but it's also not like white noisy, which this one definitely is. Which, by the way, should also go into atmospheres. Let's make sure I route them already. Oh. But these were already routed. Bam. Okay. Another thing, I opened up Noir for a reason. I want to do something similar. Close by this, that. And then we have a... Oh, wait. Bam. And if we turn all those down, it can kind of sound like almost a dulcimer. But there are some inconsistencies in here, which I absolutely love. So it's not really a piano. It's very interesting. It's also fun to do plucked, which sounds more dulcimer-y. This sounds really dulcimer-y. And here the panning is kind of funny. And it gets very muddy on the lower register. But that's always fun too, like. There are inconsistencies which I love, Paul Thompson. Honestly, I don't blame him for saying that. He says it probably with a different intention. Also, some inconsistencies just suck, but there are good inconsistencies. In this case, it's more like experimental sounding. For orchestral stuff, there is performance samples, which is like rough sounding and human sounding. And then there's inconsistencies like you play a sample and in the middle of it there's a loud fart going on. And that's not nice because you don't want a loud fart in your song, generally speaking. So that's where inconsistencies are not the best, I would say. But there are really good cases for inconsistencies. Let's get rid of that again. Bam, this is already reversed, is it? Okay, yeah. Then we can do a similar thing. What we did. Reverse this again. Should probably learn the keybind for that too. Ooh. I'm hearing something cool. Okay, what we can do is maybe just kind of comp this in weird ways. See where I'm going with this? Yeah, maybe not too much, but definitely some. And then I want to have some delay at the end of it, and I might even automate the delay in. It needs to be faster. So and a bit more feedback. More in the background. The delay is not really very audible. It's also because it's drowning a bit in the reverb. That's better. Then I want to repeat this with this note. And then going in like this maybe. Maybe it's better to use this note. I'm having so much fun right now. I'm concentrated but having a lot of fun. I think it's cool to kind of mix and match and create a weird atmosphere. Thanks, I'm happy to hear that. Wait, what? One of the Taiko rim hits round Robinson is a loud cough. Yeah, that's Spitfire for you. That's not just Hans Zimmer percussion that has coughs in there. I don't know. No, this doesn't really work as well there. Never mind, we're just gonna go with this one. But what we should probably do is stretch this a bit. I think that's the main issue. I also think reverb-wise, it might be more fun to do this. Glad you like the reverses. This is a very new and experimental thing for me. I'm also enjoying this quite a bit. Let's see. It's also distorting a tiny bit, maybe? I don't know. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's funny that you say that, Oliver. I'm just gonna put it out there. When I'm working on something dedicated orchestrally, like something more orchestral, I think our workflows are actually quite similar, probably. Well, probably not super similar, but it's very different than orchestral work. I probably want this one. We either one. I think this one might be even more fun. Yep, that's part of the fun. It's everyone has their own unique tastes and style. This is crazy stuff. I feel like it's very niche, so I don't expect people to like this at all. Do I expect that when I make orchestral music? No, not necessarily, but I mean, stylistically, I feel like epic music tends to be quite popular, and if I do like regular emotional music, that's like... and it sucks that I'm using a weird sound for this now, but I mean, example-wise, it's like... Would I sell my template? Yes, sure. $10 and I'll send... I actually have a version of my template that is all emptied out, so you can fill it with your own stuff. But Jameson, you use Logic, so I'm unable to sell it to you. You will go How would you go insane doing all those tiny tweaks? You're literally already doing a lot of tiny tweaks. It's not that insanity inducing. Well, actually, if you don't like comping, I kind of understand that you would go insane. needs to be a tiny bit longer. Tiny bit softer. Oh, this is gonna sound interesting. I mean, the thing is, you kind of get a feel for the workflow after doing it for long enough. Okay, chat, I need your opinion. Does this last reverse work? I'm just gonna play them all. Oh, that's cool that you're gonna switch to Cubase. Yeah, Jameson, if you're gonna switch to Cubase, just send me a DM. Okay, sorry, gonna play this again. What do you think about the like? I think it actually kind of works. Maybe it's a bit too long. The second one, yeah, actually this one, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. We can just also kind of cheat by just doing. Ooh, that's kind of haunting. Wait. That one, I like that one. I think. Voodoo. Yeah, okay. That's all of you know. I love your honesty always. It's very cool. If you like this, I'm definitely sticking with it. This one. Also, it can be a bit cryptic, of course. One other thing we can just do is having like a fifth, but not with too much bass going on. And then I'm thinking also with Arcane, but then a duplicate. And then I'm gonna do a similar thing. Okay. Hello? What? Why are you silent? That's weird. It's refusing to work. Well, great stuff. You know what? I'm not even gonna use you anymore, Arcane. I'm gonna jump to something. No, okay, I wanna use Arcane. I swear I'm more consistent with my dogs if I'm training them to be mature dogs. I'm not like, you want a cookie? Sit. Oh, you don't sit? Oh, okay, it's fine anyways. That's not it. It's just Arcane and me are like love on first sight and eternal true love. Look, it works. Sometimes it's worth waiting and reopening your stuff. This is really fun to reverse, by the way. Some might recognize this sound in Lost. I used it a lot in Lost. And I feel like it's cool. It's a cool narrative to kind of bring back this sound, but in a more messed up way. And I feel like reversing it is doing that. Actually, what am I doing? It's definitely not long enough. Nope. Yeah, okay. That's it. Bam. This should be good. Otherwise I can always stretch it a bit. Rendering that out. I think actually stretching this can be really cool. Maybe we can even throw a lo-fi kind of distortion on it. Saturn. Hey, that's gonna happen, man. You can make it happen. And just to, I think it's kind of like I suck at doing lo-fi stuff. But anyways, I think it's just not necessarily important. Like if let's say the orchestra can't perform your stuff, it can probably perform some stuff if you tweak it a bit, right? Like I had a track. Wait, never mind. I'm not supposed to share this. Never mind. I mean, hypothetically, I could have a track and write a track that's not made with the orchestra in mind and just with whatever I have in mind, and then there's an opportunity for it to be live recorded with an orchestra, and then there's a way to make that work still. But I also think it's kind of cool that you're doing it like that. It's kind of like working with a real orchestra but fake. I feel like my approach is probably a bit more EDM-ish. But yeah, that's the point of an orchestrator. Yep, they do that. They help. Hypothetically, they help me a lot. Yeah, okay. And then just, how can I get the lo-fi crunch sound? No, this is gonna sound like shit. Actually, no! Oh, this is actually kind of sick. Unless I do it like... Thinking... I can just cut this out whenever I want. Yeah, okay, I get you. It's pretty cool that you're like having this real fake private orchestra, but still, if I know it, I think that's a special something. Just the idea of it. By the way, this sound is so cinematic and cool. I mean, I used this Arcane patch so much and I never did something like this with it. Some distortion does a good job. Also, I love the subtle like you hear those plucks of the harp, like that percussive sound, and you hear them like left and right a tiny bit. Those are these imperfections that are actually great. Yeah, I mean, I would actually say not having them is sort of an imperfection because it's part of playing the instrument. It's supposed to be there. Yeah, suspended chord at the last one, right? At this one. Like, need to extend this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think personally I do like the chord changes. I mean, I already have trouble accepting it, but I think it's just my brain naturally goes to this, and I feel like it's a reason why it should be there. For me, that's also the music that I'm making is just a representation of my subconscious and my emotions, and especially the subconscious mind just throwing stuff out there. So I feel like keeping those things that really feel like they come out of my subconscious, keeping them in there really strengthens the narrative. I would probably do a sus chord there. The chord before, this one. It's a okay, wait. I kind of agree. I don't really love hey, wait. Actually, the issue is this is not a chord change. That's the issue. I made an issue with MIDI editing, I think. We can rewatch this when the stream is done. Yeah, but it's because there's no chord change. Okay. And also that sounds incredibly arcane-y, but yeah, it's fine. Also, it's just they took inspiration from, I think, like, I feel it's kind of Radiohead-ish in a way. And what you say, Thomas Newman, American Beauty. I have to check that out. I think I've heard that one before, but I'm definitely gonna check that out now. Yeah, I think especially with this. I might even record some guitar sounds in here as well. I want to show you something really cool actually, which is also a track from my album. I might bring some inspiration from that track that I made. This was not specifically inspired with anything in mind, by the way, which is usually the case with leaning into your subconscious, but let's see what we wish for intro render 1, I think. What we wish for intro render 1. Yeah, okay. I think this is a really cool intro track for one of the tracks on my album. I recorded my guitar and I did something like, if I can remember that well, I'm not a good guitarist, but I'm getting lessons from Ron, which I'm super happy about. And then I think it's like, yeah, that's what I play. So like, and then I reversed that and I comped it like all these tiny edits that is not super fun. In that case, it was actually quite a bit tiring, but here it is. And I think this is so fun. And like after listening back to this, I thought, okay, actually that is very Radiohead. This specifically is. And then this is just epic emotional orchestral Van Berken voice. Yeah, so I'm really happy about this intro. It's just like an intro for another track with the same melody that plays in here. I think it's really cool. Also, so N-I-N. What do you mean with NIN? Might be missing something here. I'm probably gonna be like, oh right. But yeah, I think it's a really cool color, yeah. It's very fun. There's something I want to add. I want to have some like solo sounding vibrato-ish kind of strings in there in a way. Oh, 9-inch nails. Right. Yeah. Okay, now I get you. Yeah, I think it's kind of from that era in general. I think it's cool. It also feels... It keeps the album interesting. I mean, there's enough variation. I shouldn't be worried about that. Yeah, what do I want to do? I wanted to add like a... Yeah, okay. Solo strings kind of sound. I'm not sure what exactly, but I'm gonna try out... Oh no, it's not in this template. Contact strings. Let's open up a few contingency patches. Okay, boom. Maybe chordal textures. And then I feel like this could work quite well. That's really cool, right? Not sure how fitting this is, but I'm gonna figure out a way because I have just slight ID. I'm just playing like, these are all played by me, but you have to subtly do this. The smart interval thing is really clever because it's just like, when you do, you can kind of play that and it's kind of a learning curve to get a good feel for that. Yeah, this is a really, really cool thing. It doesn't do it when I just do this. And you have to know it. Like, eventually it does it, but if you do it like this. And then it does like... It feels so freaking alive. So we can do something cool with that. Okay. Maybe I should kind of copy the piano in a way, but that's gonna be very tricky to pull off. Jameson, if I tell you, you're doomed. It's Nutella Marcus stuff. It's solo strings formations, I think. Yeah. Sorry, this is gonna tip you over the edge, isn't it? No, man, this is just too good to be true. I'm playing all that live. It's so much fun. By the way, with guests, it's like a rare thing that happens. I think it's really rare. This is one of the few cases where I'm actually like very satisfied about it. Most of the time, it's definitely not. And you don't always know whether it is. Because for me, this might be great. For you, maybe not. So I like that. Or like, I really got quite a fan of this. And then, but that's kind of the last thing that I, in my last album, I have to. Genesis organ. That sounds cool. I'm not big on organs, but that's pretty cool. Like, I'm not big on using them, but I think they do sound cool. Wait, did I switch to flatandos? Oh, they also sound cool. Didn't even notice that. Oh, flatandos fit way better in this. It's a bit tricky to utilize this, but I want to have something soloistic sounding, and I think this is still the most practical way to do that. Jameson Nathan Jones. Very cool. Oh, it does not sound like an organ. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna look it up, but I do believe you that it sounds cool. That's awesome. I hope you make some cool music with that. Okay. The issue is if I copy paste this, it's probably not gonna sound great. But worth a try nevertheless. This definitely has a learning curve, by the way. To kind of know the time. Yeah, I can't do this. I need to feel it to play. If I don't play this one and I'm kind of in a fight with myself with this because I very often don't use MIDI keyboard. I do sometimes choose the keyboard on my Mac itself. When I do that, I tend to use it differently. When I just use my mouse and keyboard, I tend to just take a different direction like this. That's something that I would do, and I think it's interesting because the decision making is kind of rooted in the instrument that I'm using. So that's why learning to play the guitar leads to some interesting musical ideas, which will definitely be felt in the album, even though they're not always on guitar, or actually most of the time they're not. And like playing on the piano is going to bring you different ideas than playing on the MIDI keyboard that is non-weighted, because that tends to make me play softer, and when I play on a real piano, it makes me play more epic and more dramatic. And when I use my mouse and keyboard, I tend to have, I wouldn't say more structured approach, but in a way, kind of. And I think it's cool because all those different ways of coming up with ideas and performing ideas is keeping things refreshing, but still me. And it also keeps the process of making music just super fun, because I always have something that keeps it new and exciting, especially when there's different angles that I'm approaching my music from. So yeah, I always love doing that. Wait, what? You have so many Ghost Ambient libraries that I totally don't need but totally want? Yeah, I would suggest not doing it. Like, you can do so much stuff with Arc, Oliver. Also super cool library. And also the low ones has like these. These are also really fun. The bass is maybe even more. How cool does this sound? That's so cool. And you hear those imperfections like the checks. It is so fun. I tend to do most of my ambient stuff from organic sources, by the way. I think I do really like synths too, actually. But for ambient soundscapes, you just hear this. Yeah, that sounds dissonant, but you can pitch shift it to make it work better. You also have time micro. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame you. The fracture sound stuff is really cool. I mean, a lot of these things are really cool. Also, I think I kind of want to do something with this sound now. But this is not going to fit this track. This is going to feel like this is going to be an intro in itself, and then just like dung, 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 and then it just kind of goes insane and bam, and just all types of epic stuff in there. I feel like for this, it's not a great call. I mean, it's just, you gotta look through the interesting patches and see what makes sense. I do think the swells are quite good in here. And you can do emotional stuff with them, like, it's a bit heavy though. These are kind of better for that. Or to be like, and just some inspiration. One cool thing about the low strings as well is the slow tremolos. I think it's cool that you have them in 2 speeds, but I tend to lean towards the slower ones, which are kind of cool. Yeah, there's so much to discover. And then there's also like it's really fun. Actually, it doesn't matter. I didn't choose this one right. Nope, but this one I did. Oops. That's also why that sounded distorted, by the way. The piano tremolo. Oh, that's Arc 2. I don't think I have it in my template. The piano tremolo is really fun. Arc 5 also has so much fun stuff in there. We can just quickly give it a look. Getting a bit distracted, but I feel like this is a worthy distraction. Because we make good progress. It's in here. These ones, right? I haven't used this one a lot, but I think it's very cool. Really fun. Yeah, Arc 5 is nice and layered thing. Oh, that might be a patch I haven't explored at all then. Arc 5 in the blends. I think it might be Arc 4 blends because they have some... Is it one of these? Is it this one? Ooh, that's fun. Let me know if this is the one. Right, okay. So this is the one you mean. Yeah. People that say blends are not cool. Blends can be super cool. Also like... Ricochet. Wait. I want to try out the ricochet. Ricochet. How do you pronounce ricochet? Is it ricochet? Ricochets are tricky to use, but Paul Thompson once showed you how to use them. I find it very tricky to use. It's pretty fun. I have once used this one. I think this one is also really cool. It feels like an angrier timpani with like less emotion. This is also fun. It's really cool. Should check these out more. Also, this is just kind of cool. And low. Oh, I think I have used those quite a bit. Oh, I haven't. It's a different one. Fun stuff. But enough distraction. Okay. Gonna stream for I think like 10 to 20 more minutes ish. They are cool, very cool. Art can distract really well. It's not even as bad as like, yeah, okay, it can be bad, but this is also so distracting to me. But I still want to make it work, so that's definitely the goal that I still want to achieve on the stream. Let's see. Wait, then it goes like... The thing is, you have to be prepared. It's like playing with latency a tiny bit. Yeah, no, okay. Damn it. Oh, this is so frustrating. Okay. That's one of the issues when you don't work with a tick. No! I want to have it all good in one try, but that's maybe not the best idea. Don't gas. Stop the gas, just make music and just play with what you have. I stopped the gas and it's been a good call. Okay. You're gonna see me struggle with this, but I mean, streamers play Elden Ring and die a lot of times. I guess it's comparable to that. Okay, that's workable. And that's not... I'm not even sure if I like it going with the piano. You can't make music and listen to my stream? Well, little did you know, I'm actually watching a Fortnite gameplay live stream as we speak. No, I'm kidding. I get you. Oh, sorry about bringing back your PTSD. I hope Hollow Knight is not like that. People said it's like Dark Souls in a way, but I'm gonna refuse to believe that. That does sound kind of cool. There's one bit that I don't like a lot. I think it's this, but we have to listen. I'm kidding. I don't actually watch Fortnite stuff. Yeah, we're gonna make this work. Wait, I just gotta figure out what that was again. Like, okay, there we go. So then we might want to do. I feel like the extreme dissonance, which there definitely is there, kind of works. No, that doesn't. Maybe like that. And I'm gonna ambientize this. That's not a good word, but I'm thinking of crystallizer, which does really fun reverse kind of sounds. I have more black holes than CERN. What do you mean with... Is that... Oh, particle accelerator. I love black holes. Just damn it. I love big reverbs in general. It doesn't have to be black hole. I also like shimmer. I already said that. I just think this one is a bit more smooth. I'm gonna wait here. No, okay, I'm good. Yeah, so... Wait, huh? Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, I'm glad that's not clipped. That's the issue with streaming. We all just sometimes say the wrong stuff. Like, ooh, I love crystal. Fuck, then... Oh no, why did it say that? But it's true, I do love this plugin. And it does sound kind of cool. Like, here it is. Can we just max the wetness? I'm doing it intentionally now. Okay. That's cool, right? But then I want to also keep the dry sound. And then like this. But that's too much, so then we do it like this. I think that does sound very cool. Okay, I want to listen to it all, like how that transition feels into the new section. Damn, it's quite loud here. This is way too loud. These are also a bit on the loud side. This is a very experimental track, but it's dope. I think this is super cool. There is like the Arcane bit. I think it's mostly, and I think this applies for at least Jameson and Cronus, you guys as well. We love that soundtrack, and I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm just really obsessed with it, and I listen a lot to it. So I kind of see like all these connections that are there. And I don't think it's that bad. I mean, they can't claim chords, and they're not, and it's just ego that's playing here. And I'm definitely gonna keep it like this because I really like it. And this might end up on my album, and or on the B side. We never know. But I think it's getting somewhere really cool. I want to think how to progress. I'm thinking of progressing by going to a tempo. So by going to an actual tick, like on the beat, and then having like a low bass kind of sound. So we're gonna find that, and once we did, I am gonna end the stream. So let's just find a cool bass sound and then call it a day. I say this was a very successful stream. And I already finished another track of music today. I also finally beat the final boss of Terraria, and I can go get started on Hollow Knight. This has been a very productive day. Even though I would say this album work stuff feels more like just playing around. I think it's more fun than gaming, and that's pretty fun. Yeah, okay. The unfinished is the goat, so let's just see it. All the BL. This is too defined. Oh no, I know which preset I want to use. Okay, I have the exact preset in mind. I just don't know the name exactly. But I do think I know where it is from, and it's if I have this in one, I feel like a boss. Okay, let's see. This is the one I was thinking about, but I'm now not so sure. I'm gonna go through all of this. No, this is the one I was thinking about. Oh. Okay, Oliver. This is actually really nice, by the way, because it has a sequencer and all. The thing is, this is a Plugmon skin, so it's called Plugmon .gp. I'm not sure if I can type that without getting banned by myself. I think this is the right site. Yeah, I can showcase that. So basically, I also have the Diva skin. They make the synth so much nicer to work with, especially when you're trying to create sounds. For presets, I would say it has a few quality of life things, but they're negligible. It's really nice. Like the one that I have here is the for the Zebra Newman, but there's Newman and Newman Pro. I have the non-Pro one because I thought that wasn't really necessary, but the Pro one has like all on screen, all at the same time. Especially if you have bigger screens, I think it's quite nice to have it all on the screen. Or not even all, but it is more on the screen. This is not a sponsored thing. Twitch, I didn't sponsor them. I do recommend them, but this is not. I didn't get paid for that. Just clarifying. Yeah, so that's why it looks differently, and I love the look. It's just a skin that improves functionality. Do I type faster than I speak? Huh. Oh, that's because of the delay. I like it, but the tempo is not quite right. We can just decide to think here. I'm not sure if 80 is what I want to go for, but along those lines, I'm just gonna name this Ghosts Bass Pills. I don't know. that works. Okay, 36. And then, wait, what? Oops. Okay, so what we have here is I want to filter it even more. Sides and shadows. Shadows fits the vibe well. Well, I'm really satisfied about the progress. That was the stream. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, this has been great. Have a good one. I'll keep you updated on the Maybe I'll continue this on the next stream. That might be fun. But let's see what makes sense. It was great to do this. And the replay will be on YouTube sometime soon. So thank you very much. And I'll see you next stream. Big thanks. This was a really fun one.